Now in the post-Thanksgiving stage of the NFL season, it means we have to start talking about the playoffs, specifically how the AFC picture is shaping up. I'm Alex Barth, he's Evan Lazar. This is Patriots Press Pass, brought to you by betonline.ag. Visit their website and use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% welcome bonus this Turkey Day weekend. A full slate of college and NFL games. Join betonline.ag. Evan, we'll start at the top. We'll start with the Patriots and the Ravens, 10-1, 9-2 respectively. How many wins does it take either of those teams? And I think it's a different number for each team because of the head-to-head. But how many wins does it take to get that number one seed and home field advantage?
I would say that we're probably on the same page with this one. Okay. I think the Patriots are going to have to get to 13 in order to hold off Baltimore. Now, Baltimore does have to go to San Francisco this week.
Yes.
And they have to play Buffalo the following week. And we saw that Bills team yesterday on Turkey Day, and it doesn't look like that's such an easy win anymore.
And they have Pittsburgh, too, which divisional games can always get weird.
Right,
they got a tough schedule here.
So I would call it a tough schedule as well, but they are also blowing doors off of every single team they're playing right now. So, you want to think that they're going to get a game here from at least San Francisco or Buffalo at least in the next 2 weeks, but you never know. I mean, Lamar Jackson's on another level. That defense is really improving as well. So we'll see what happens. But for the Patriots, it's really about the next 2 weeks. And I don't want to overlook any opponents, and they do have Buffalo in that Week 16 matchup. So you can't say it's going to be a tough game for Baltimore and an easy game for the Patriots. But the next 2 weeks, I think if you can get through this kind of gauntlet of 5 games where we've been talking about all year that this is going to be the toughest stretch of the season for New England, they can get through these next 2 games. They got Cincinnati the following week after Kansas City. They can kind of reset a little bit, get some people healthy, get back to, playing good football on the offensive side of the ball, hopefully over the next couple of weeks, and then play Buffalo, which maybe an AFC East game that's actually means something.
I think at the very least, it certainly could be a hat and T-shirt game for them.
Yeah, I was talking to some players today in the locker room about it, and they were saying that it's kind of nice. It is kind of nice to have another AFC East team that's pushing them. That they're saying they can't take the foot off the gas. If Buffalo had dropped a few games here and they're 5 losses or 6 losses at this point now instead of what they're at now with only 3 losses, and it's a completely different ball game going over the next couple of weeks. So I think that the Patriots are a little bit, they're welcoming it a little bit too.
I'm with you. I think 13 wins for the Patriots, 12 for the Ravens. That head-to-head is going to end up being huge. You mentioned divisional races. There's a pair of tight ones in the AFC, and they happen to be the Patriots' next 2 opponents. Houston, 7-4. They have a couple teams breathing down their neck. The Colts at 6-5, and Tennessee doesn't look like they're going anywhere either with the new and improved Ryan Tannehill. That's right. And then out in the AFC West, the Patriots playing the Chiefs next week. They're 7-4. The Oakland Raiders a bit of a surprise. I know they just had a setback, but they're 6-5. They're right there. Both of those teams only lead their division by a game with a month to play. Which of those 2 teams is in the most trouble to lose their division?
I think it's Houston. I have all the faith in the world that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to win that division. I really don't see Kansas City missing the playoffs entirely. They just have too much talent.
Let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase the question then. Which team, and obviously every win matters, but which team is more desperate going into their matchup with the Patriots?
I think it's Houston for now. And I think the biggest reason why is that as explosive as that Houston offense has been, and we've talked about this all week, they're actually only 15th in DVOA right now offensively. They're a middle-of-the-road offense statistically, despite the fact that they have an MVP quarterback, they have DeAndre Hopkins, they have Will Fuller, they have all these weapons, but it really isn't coming together. Why? Line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They're really banged up on the defensive line. There aren't a ton of players when you go around that defense that you really circle as blue-chip guys. You know, who are you really worried about this weekend? Whitney Merciless is probably the only one, or you can say, okay, that guy can really play. Right now, according to Pro Football Focus, Bernard McHenry is the only player that's grading out as an above average starter right now for Houston. The whole rest of the defense is in that yellow and orange range. Not what you want to be in, right? And the offensive line in Houston, too, other than Laramie Tunsil at left tackle, who's kind of brought some stability to that spot, is shaky every place else. The other 4 spots are not so good either. So I think that they have more holes in their roster, is a long way of saying that. They have more holes in their roster right now than Kansas City does. Although Kansas City defense is nothing to be
I would call that whole Kansas City defense a whole, but that's another conversation we'll have next week.
Houston's defense is worse.
It's not great. It's not great. But, we just went through it. The 1 seed is going to be highly contested. We've got some divisional races. It looks like one of the wild card spots is decided, but between Oakland, Pittsburgh, you got a whole bunch of teams chasing that 6th spot.
That 6th spot's going to be a bad team, man. That's not going to be a playoff team that's going to get that spot.
But let me ask you this. Which race do you think is the most up for grabs, is the most exciting of everything in the AFC?
I think it's the 1 seed, honestly, because Baltimore has the head-to-head against the Patriots. The Patriots have one less loss, obviously, right now than the Ravens, but the Ravens look like, at least over the last month or so, since that Patriot game, the best team in football.
Yep.
Besides maybe the Niners, but I really think that Baltimore, what they're putting together, beating the Rams like they did last week was just an incredible victory. So I think that they look like the best team in football. Lamar Jackson looks like the MVP. So that's the storyline of the league right now, is Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. On top of that, they're chasing the Patriots.
Sure.
So it really doesn't
No,
get
it
much
involves
better
the
than
Patriots.
that.
That gives it juice. I actually, though, I'm going to go with the AFC West.
Yeah.
That is the most fascinating for me to watch just because...
You think Oakland has a chance?
If
Really?
Kansas City has trouble coming in here again,
Yeah.
if Kansas City comes in here and can't win, Oakland's got a very easy schedule down the stretch. They still play each other.
Yeah.
They do have a matchup
That's,
left.
I think, the issue that I have with Oakland is that they might beat everybody else, but I don't think that they have the horses to beat Kansas
You're
City.
setting up for a potential late season game where Kansas
Yeah.
City has to beat Oakland to get in.
Fair enough.
That would be that's where I lose the juice on the Patriots and
Yeah.
Ravens for the 1 seed. It's all done. They're all doing it on their own. There's
Right.
no head-to-head where you have it in the AFC South, you have it in the AFC West. You might even have some games for that 6th seed that
Yeah.
could matter later on. I want head-to-head. Winner moves on, loser
Yeah.
goes home. That's the best kind. That's in any sport. That's the
Yeah.
best. That's the best. So give me
Yeah.
the matchups where they have to play each other, decide who gets in the playoffs. But no, the 1 seed is absolutely going to be fascinating too
Yeah.
down that stretch. So, and you know what, we're saying the Patriots and the Ravens. We should say, to be fair, Buffalo Bills are, if they beat Baltimore,
The Bills are...
they're in that conversation.
If Josh Allen continues to play like he did
He looked good
yesterday on
yesterday. He looked
Thanksgiving,
really good yesterday.
if he continues to play like that, then that's a team that's going to be reckoned with, not just making the playoffs,
Right.
but actually
Well,
a team
no,
that
look,
could win some playoff
If
games.
they beat Baltimore,
Yeah.
they come in here with a chance to possibly not only take the
Yeah.
division, but the 1 seed.
Yeah, I know.
So
Pretty
if a
incredible.
couple things
it's
fall.
great. Honestly, I think it's great.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo
I
Bills.
think Patriots fans should really embrace it too, because
I'm enjoying
the AFC East has been getting trashed on for years and years and years, and this Buffalo team, I don't know if they're for real yet in the grand scheme of things. Like, are they a Super Bowl contender? I'm not sure if
Right.
I'm ready to put them in
Well,
that
'cause
category yet, but they're one of the better teams in the AFC. That's for
No,
sure.
they beat I'll say it again. It's getting harder to make this argument.
Yeah.
Dallas is a good team.
Are
The
they?
Dallas Cowboys are
Are
good. They have a
they?
really bad coach.
Yeah.
But they're talented, and that was
Yeah.
the problem. The Bills always got outcoached. They didn't
Yeah.
get outcoached. They far
Yeah.
from got outcoached yesterday.
Yeah.
Real quick, not Jerry Jones, Jason Garrett. Does he have a job at the end of the season?
At the end of the season,
Yeah.
no. I think that he gets fired on Black Monday, though.
Okay, I meant like during the
don't-
season,
I don't
but
think
all
he
right.
gets fired in season because, believe it or not, they could still win the NFC East pretty easily.
So
they're in the driver's seat. In
I
the
was
NFC
trying to
East
figure out if
after all
a
this.
coach had ever been fired while leading his division. NFC playoff picture might be more fascinating than the AFC one.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about that another time. This has been Patriots Press Pass, brought to you by betonline.ag. Visit their website, use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% welcome bonus. College football, NFL football, full Turkey Day weekend slate. Check it out,
Michigan, Ohio State.
betonline.ag. For Evan Lazar, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.